Alright, something very unusual is happening at Apple Inc. this year. For the longest time, Ultra has been this one-off, special badge they use occasionally. But now, it looks like Apple is about to go all in. Not one, not two, but four completely new Ultra devices dropping in the same cycle. And honestly, some of these feel like products people have been waiting years for. So let's start with the one that surprised me the most, the MacBook Ultra. This isn't just a spec bump. This is Apple basically creating a new tier above the current MacBook Pro lineup. Instead of replacing the existing design, they're stacking something new on top of it, which is a very Apple move when they're about to charge a lot more money. And yeah, this thing is getting a full redesign, thinner, lighter, and finally addressing one of the biggest complaints with the current 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's kind of a brick to carry around. Powerful, yes. Portable, not really. But the real headline here is the display. Apple is reportedly switching to a tandem OLED panel. And this is where things get interesting. Instead of a single OLED layer, they stack two. That means you still get that crazy brightness Apple is known for, but now with true OLED blacks, faster response times, and less risk of burn-in. So basically, no more blooming, no weird halos around bright objects, and 120 Hz that actually feels like 120 Hz. Now here's the part that feels almost illegal to say out loud: a touchscreen MacBook. Yep. After years of Apple saying no one wants touch on a laptop, they're apparently redesigning macOS to properly support it. If that actually happens, that's a pretty massive shift in how Macs are used. And on top of that, the notch might finally be replaced with something closer to the dynamic island, which just looks cleaner and way more modern. So why not just replace the MacBook Pro entirely? Simple. This thing is going to be expensive. Like, really expensive. We're talking possibly starting around $3,000. Add to that the cost of new 2nm chips, limited supply, and the fact that not everyone even wants OLED or touch. It makes sense to keep the Pro lineup around as the safe option. Also, there's a good chance this only comes in a 16-inch size, which kind of tells you exactly who it's for. Now moving on to the second Ultra product, and probably the one getting the most attention, the iPhone Ultra. This is Apple finally stepping into the foldable space, but in a very Apple way. Instead of going super tall and narrow like most foldables, this one is wider. So when you open it up, it feels more like a mini tablet than a stretched phone. Better for videos, better for multitasking, just more usable overall. The outer display is expected to be around 5.3 inches, and the inside jumps to about 7.7 inches. And Apple is apparently obsessed with making this thing as crease-free as possible. But that's proving to be tricky. So there's a real chance that either supply is limited, or the first version isn't completely perfect. Specs-wise, it's looking premium. Titanium body, a couple of cameras on the back, cameras on both displays, and a new 2nm chip, likely the A20 Pro, which should be insanely efficient. But there are some trade-offs. No Face ID. Instead, it's rumored to use Touch ID. Also, no MagSafe, which is a bit of a weird omission. And then there's the price. Don't expect this to be anywhere near normal iPhone territory. This could easily start around $2,000, and even if it launches in September, actually getting one might take a while because of limited production. Now for something completely different, the AirPods Ultra. At first glance, it sounds like just a more expensive version of the AirPods Pro. But there's a twist here that could make these way more interesting than they sound. Apple is reportedly adding tiny infrared cameras into the earbuds. Yeah, cameras in your ears. The idea isn't for photos, obviously, it's for awareness. These AirPods could actually see your surroundings, enabling things like gesture controls in the air, but more importantly, turning them into a proper AI wearable. Paired with Apple's next-gen AI system, basically an upgraded Siri, these could answer questions about what's around you in real time. And unlike some experimental AI gadgets we've seen recently, these are still AirPods. You're still using them for music, calls, everything. The AI is just layered on top, which makes them way more practical. Price-wise, expect a bump. Possibly around $349 if Apple positions them clearly above the Pro lineup. And finally, the fourth Ultra product, the Apple Watch Ultra 4. This one is less dramatic, but still important. We're expecting improved health sensors, which is always Apple's main focus with the watch. Better tracking, potentially new health features, the usual but meaningful upgrades. There are also rumors of some design tweaks, though nothing major confirmed yet. One thing that could finally show up is a magnetic band system Apple has been experimenting with for a while. Touch ID might also make an appearance somewhere on the watch, which would be interesting. And internally, a new S12 chip should bring better performance and efficiency. Price? Probably staying around the same as the current Ultra models. So yeah, 4 Ultra devices, all in 1 year. If even half of this actually happens, this could be one of Apple's biggest product shifts in a long time. Not just iterative upgrades, but genuinely new directions. The real question is, which of these actually makes sense for you? Because some of them feel like nice to have, and others feel like Apple testing the future in real time. Either way, it's going to be a very interesting year to watch.